Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. So before we even get into today's video about pride, let's read one of my favorite stories from the Bible, right? And y'all probably have never heard this story before because it's not talked about. But when I read this story, I was like, because I could see myself in the character that it's talking about. So this is coming from Second Kings chapter 5. And we're going to read verse 1 through 19. Now Ammon, commander of the army for the king of Aram, was a man important to his master and highly regarded because through him Yahuwah had given victory to Aram. The man was a valiant warrior, but he had a skin disease. Okay, let's talk about Naaman. Aram had gone on raids and brought back from the land of Israel a young girl who served Naaman's wife. She said to her mistress, "If only my master were with the prophet who is in Samaria, who would cure him of his skin disease." So Naaman went and told his master what the girl from the land of Israel had said. Therefore, the king of Aram said, "Go, and I will send a letter with you to the king of Israel." So he went and took with him 750 pounds of silver, 150 pounds of gold, and 10 sets of clothing. He brought the letter to the king of Israel, and it read, "When this letter comes to you, note that I have sent you my servant Naaman for you to cure him of his skin disease." When the king of Israel read the letter, he tore his clothes and asked, "Am I Elohim, killing and giving life, that this man expects me to cure a man of his skin disease? Recognize that he is only picking a fight with me." The king of Israel was like, "No, you're gaslighting me right now. You are. You're gaslighting me because no, I cannot do that." When Elisha, the man of Elohim, heard that the king of Israel had torn his clothes, he sent a message to the king: "Why have you torn your clothes? Have him come to me, and he will know there is a prophet in Israel." So Naaman came with his horses and chariots and stood at the door of Elisha's house. Then Elisha sent him a messenger who said, "Go wash 7 times in the Jordan, and your skin will be restored and you will be clean." Something simple. He told him to do something so simple. Wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan. That wouldn't even take long. It would take a few minutes. Very simple, right? So I lost my. Okay. But Naaman got angry and left, saying, "I was telling myself, he will surely come out, stand and call on the name of Yahuwah his Elohim, and wave his hand over the place and cure the skin disease. Aren't Abana and Pharpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Couldn't I wash in them and be clean?" So he turned and left in rage. His pride was about to stop him. Let me fix this. Was about to stop him from being healed. He was like, "Aren't these rivers better than the Jordan? Like, what's so special about the Jordan? What's so special about that?" But also, his expectation of how he was going to be healed was just that, an expectation. Like, sweetheart, you set the bar too high. Okay? No. He was like, no, he thought Elisha was going to come out, wave his hand over his like a magic wand, and magically his hand would be healed. But his pride got the better of him, right? But his servants approached and said to him, "My father, if the prophet had told you to do some great thing, would you not have done it? How much more should you do it when he only tells you, 'Wash and be clean'?" He's like, if he told you to do something extravagant, right? Wouldn't you have done it? And he would have. But he was like, something so simple, like just go wash in the Jordan. Like that's it. When I read this, I was just like, bruh, that sounds like me. That sounds like me because it's like I'm expecting something, and then when I realize it's all so simple, it's like I feel gaslit. At the same time, it's like, why does it seem that easy? I feel like there's strings attached to that. Like, it cannot be that simple. But a lot of times it really is. But that is our pride. That is our pride standing in the way, right? And so, um, So Naaman went down and dipped himself in the Jordan 7 times, according to the command of the man of Elohim. Then his skin was restored and became like the skin of a small boy, and he was clean. Now remember, him having a deformed hand would essentially make him unclean. Any kind of like deformity would be like leprosy. Then Naaman and his whole company went back to the man of Elohim, stood before him, and declared, I know there is no Elohim in the whole world except in Israel. Therefore, please accept the gift from your servant. But Elisha said, As Yahuwah lives, in whose presence I stand, I will not accept it. Naaman urged him to accept it, but he refused. Naaman responded, If not, please let your servant be given as much soil as a pair of mules can carry, for your servant will no longer offer a burnt offering or a sacrifice to any other Elohim but Yahuwah. However, in a particular matter, may Yahuwah pardon your servant. When my master, the king of Aram, goes into the temple of Rimmon to bow and worship while he is leaning on my arm, and I have to bow in the temple of Rimmon. When I bow in the temple of Rimmon, may Yahuwah pardon your servant in this matter. So he said to him, Go in peace. So he's like, I'm not going to worship any other Elohim, but I do have a master who worships other Elohim. Please know that because I serve him, he's my master, that I'm not serving these other Elohim. I only serve the Most High. He's like, may he excuse me, may he forgive me for what I have to do, right? And so we're going to stop there, but we're going to talk about pride. Pride, a lot of times, stands in the way of us receiving a blessing. And Naaman was going to let his pride stand in the way of him being healed. Something that I had to get over with pride is the fact that I have had a lot of pride my entire life. I did not like asking people for help. It is very hard, even to this day, for me to ask someone for help. When I am in need, it is hard to ask for help. It's a pride thing because we don't want to look weak, right? We don't want to look like we don't have it all together. The babes, I don't have it all together. I don't. I'm going through some hard times financially, and it's like I need all the help I can get, which I've started going to the food pantry. I've started going to the food bank and getting food. You know, I used to be a person who would donate food, but now I'm the type of person who needs the food. Rent is going up. I have bills. Everything is going up but my paycheck. Okay. So I cannot be prideful when there are opportunities all around me, when there are resources all around me for me to take advantage of in my time of need, because I am in a time of need. So we cannot be prideful. We can't. And the story of Naaman is like, it's one of my favorites because just it was so simple. Go wash and be clean. And for me, it's like go to the food bank and have food. It's simple. It's not hard. I don't have to work hard for it. And that's the thing. The Most High, He's not going to make us work hard for things. But when we let our pride stand in the way, yeah, we're going to have to work harder. We're going to have to work harder to get the thing that we want or to get the thing that we need. Because when pride stands in the way, Yahuwah is not there. And you're on your own, babes. You are. You're on your own. He's not going to help you because pride is a sin. And another thing I've learned is that a lot of times our blessings aren't just for us, they're also for other people. Me going to the food bank and going to the food pantry, I've been able to bless other people in my life with this food because it's so they give so much, and it's just me and my son. We cannot eat all that food. I can pack, what I can in the freezer, but the rest of it, I don't want it to go to waste, so I donate it to whoever I know might need it, right? So I'm in a season, like I said, of stewardship, but it's also knocking down that pride. I can't steward what I have well when I have all this pride, in my heart. So that's something we can learn from Naaman is that you cannot have pride when you know you're in need of something and the Most High gives you opportunities and He presents things to you that are so simple. Don't take it for granted. Don't think that there are going to be strings attached. because a lot of times they're not. That's all in our head. Pride. Pride makes us think that there are strings attached. And honestly, it comes from trauma, from like childhood. It could come from things we've seen, things we've experienced, not even just childhood, but even like as adults. Um, just all different types of things can cause us to have pride and to think that we have to do things on our own when we know that we can't. We can't. I can't make money appear in my bank account. I cannot. I can't make money appear in my bank account. I can't make, the bills be paid. Yeah, I go to work, but when there's more bills than there is money, or there's more month when there is money, I cannot be prideful and not ask for help. I can't. I have a whole child to take care of, right? So use your resources, use them, whatever they may be. And it may not be that, you have to go to a food pantry or a food bank. Whatever resources you have, use them. And that's something that my mom has told me for a very long time, is to use my resources. I have this resource, this resource, this resource, but my pride has stood in the way of me utilizing those resources. So I encourage you today to set aside your pride and let the Most High provide for you. That's all I have for you.